Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have a recipe to share with you. This is keema. It is an Indian version of ground beef and it is a family favorite. The first thing we're going to do is rinse our meat. I know this might be a little bit unusual, but aside from it being just something that I learned from my mother-in-law, it also helps change the texture of the meat. So you do not need to rinse it. You could just work it with your hands or with a spoon, but I find that rinsing it is a little bit easier, especially if you cannot have it reground at the butcher. Alright, so this might take a couple of minutes and you want to make sure that you drain as much water as possible. And then in the meantime, we can start on the rest of the recipe. So I've got some grapeseed oil in a long flat pan and I am going to chop up one medium-sized onion. I'm just going to remove the peels and save that for my compost bin. Now you can speed this process along by buying pre-fried onions, and that will make this instant keema go a lot faster. So we're going to put that onto our pan and we're just going to saute it a little bit. You can grill them up till they're nice and brown, or you can just leave them until they're translucent. Now we're going to work on all the seasonings for our keema, and I have the complete recipe down in the description box below. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, a half a teaspoon of cayenne, and 1.5 teaspoons of cumin to 1 pound of beef. This recipe is really easy to double and triple. Alright, so now it's time to add it all to our sauteed onions, and immediately you're going to notice that this smells phenomenal. All of those spices are hitting the oil and the onions, and they are starting to cook and warm through, and the beef cooks really quickly. This will be done in about 5 minutes, and that's why this is a super easy go-to recipe in a pinch. Next, we want to season with a little bit of salt. You may add as much or as little as you'd like. And then there's one last thing that we want to do to this, and that's to add some fresh cilantro. Now, I'm adding this at the very end so that we can preserve this bright green color of the cilantro as well as the flavor. Now, you may choose to do this earlier on, and it will diminish the color, but it will still leave a beautiful cilantro flavor. And then you can top it with a little bit of fresh cilantro if you'd like, and you can serve it with some rice. It just makes a really warm, hearty meal to end the day. I hope you'll try this recipe, and if you do, don't forget to share with me how it turns out. If you want to see some of my other cooking tutorials, you can tap on the screen right now. I've left a complete playlist as well as a couple of our favorites. And if you're curious to see what we're eating on a daily basis, don't forget that you can find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine.